Hey everyone, it's the creator of the Power Rangers Supercharged series, here with a video that you've all been asking for, and I'm finally delivering on the instruction video on how to build your own Power Ranger Supercharged Morpher using Legos. So, this is my first time making a video like this, so apologies if I get some Lego terminology incorrect, or if I stumble on some of my words for this stuff. But either way, let's go ahead and get started. So I separated this into 5 sections. The one for the pin that is commonly used with the keys, the bottom, the base, the top, and the front. And I separated them into each section so that way I knew where each piece went. And I also arranged everything so that I remember how I originally put them all together. Hopefully, this will make it easier for you to follow along as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to work on your pin. And I think this piece is really, really important actually for the entire thing. Not only because it really doesn't serve a purpose with the Morpher, but it serves a purpose with the keys and with the Zords. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First, you're going to take this kind of an axle piece, and then you'll take a 1x2 long axle, put it through, and then on each side, you're going to put one of these reel pieces, R-E-E-L, and then you'll do the same thing over here, so that way it resembles a hammer. And there you go. That is your pin that you'll be using, like I mentioned, when it comes to the keys. So that way you can turn them on and then turn them off. And also, as mentioned, when it comes to the Zords. So, for example, like Venjex's patrol vehicle. So now that we got that finished, we're going to go ahead and work on the bottom next. So you're going to take a dark gray 4x8 piece, and then you'll take two of these 2x4 pieces with axle points, or access to axles in them, I should say, and put it on the very end of both sides of the flat piece. You'll take a 2x2 slanted and make sure the slant piece going up is inside, not on the outside. You want this area to be flat. And that goes for both ends. Next, you're going to take 2x3 flat pieces and put them as so they kind of resemble a 4x3 piece. Then take a small 1x1, put it right here, and then you'll take a 1x4 block and put it here. This is going to be the space occupied by your strap. So you'll take 3 1x2 grills and stack them like this. And then finally a 1x3 piece. It could be curved, it could be blocky, I don't care. Because this is going to be your stabilizer to keep the strap from moving too much. So now, you'll take a Velcro strap, which I did explain before I prefer using this, simply because it's a lot more comfortable on your wrist, it's adjustable, and it's not something that's elastic that will pull on the Legos themselves and potentially pull them apart. This makes it a lot easier to apply, but also keep stable when you're wearing it. So, you'll take the part that you're not going to be using too much and putting it here, making sure that it's interacting with the 1x3, so that way, once everything's put together, it has a good grip, and it won't be moving around so much. leave this here like this, because in order to stabilize it, we have to get to work on the base. So the first thing you're going to do is take a 4x8 flat piece, flip it upside down, take a 2x4, and place it so that you're leaving 2 studs worth of room on the end. Take a 1x4, place it right next to it, so that way this is going to be covering this 3x4 space that we have left here. So let's just go ahead and connect them. So as you can see, it's giving a little bit of pushback, the strap, but everything's still connected like it's supposed to. And now that strap's not moving anywhere. It's safely in place. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the rest of this. So the first thing we're going to do is take a 1x6, place it here, or actually, I do apologize. You're going to be putting it here because you're going to need this bottom row to be accessible for the front specifically, which we will get to after this part. So you're going to have it sitting out like this with 3 studs out. Then you're going to do kind of the same with a 1x4 solid block, so that way there's no holes that are exposed. You'll take a 1x3 and place it down here specifically, and then a 1x2 that has a hole in it, so that way you can take a 1x3 axle that allows for 1 cross 1x1 and 2 regular axle to go in here to share this spot to allow for movement. Then you're going to go ahead and take a 1x2 slanted silver piece, put it all the way in the back, and then 2 1x2 gray grill pieces that are slanted to make this little look. Finally, you will take a 2x2, I don't know what you would call this piece, like an engine piece, something like that, I don't know. But you'll put it so that it's facing like this, making a bit of a valley here. Now, everything else up here in the front, we'll take care of that later. Right now, we're going to work on this part. So we will take a 2x6, place it here. Then we'll take a 1x3 L shape, place it here. And the reason we're going to be placing it like this, excuse me, is because you want to leave a 1x2 slot here and here specifically for your front. So this area here is going to get occupied. First, you'll take a 1x2, place that right there, and then a 1x4 that's going to be up here. And now when it comes to everything here, all you really need to make sure of is that your flat pieces, like this 1x4, is what's on the outside, so that way inside, it really doesn't matter how you make it look as long as everything in there is flat. So I'll take a 1x3 and put it up here, and then take a 1x2 grill slot and put it there. Then I will take this piece. You can use really any flat pieces that you have access to in any configuration that you want. So this is just my preference on what I ended up building specifically. And then there you go. So this is how it should currently look once you have everything put in place. Now, once you have all that taken care of, we're going to make sure that our pin is in a safe place and put it into this specific hole for a cross axle, so that way it's easily stored, easily accessible, and doesn't move at all. It's secure in its spot. And you always want it to be on this side, never up here in the front, because then it interferes with the front piece I will be working on. And never on this side either, because then it'll get in the way of the mechanism once we get to the top. So now let's start on the front. So first thing we're going to do is take these two, I'll say 2x4 in a way that allows for 2 on top, 4 on the side. And then you're going to put them, like I mentioned before, in the slots that we reserved for it. And now, you'll go ahead and take a 1x1 in order to fill that very last spot. The next thing we're going to do is take this 1x8, or 2x8, excuse me, piece, and place it here in the front, specifically to help push down the strap, make it even more secure in place. And then you will take a 2x4, put it directly in the middle, and then these engine pieces, as what I'll just call them for right now, because like I mentioned, I don't really know the real terminology, so I do apologize, and put it on both ends. Next, these very smooth hill-like 1x4s. And these are kind of hard to place. And you'll put them just like this. So that way you end up with a pretty smooth surface up here in the front. And now up here, these pieces are going to be used in order to secure everything. So first thing we're going to do is take a, I'll say 2x2 slant, where the slant this time is going up instead of down. Place it right here. Take a 1x2, place it right behind another engine piece. So now you have a new crested hill here. And then up in the front, you'll take a 1x1, put it right there, and then a sloped 1x2 that is 2 studs high in the back and 1.5 in the front. So that way it combines like that. Then you'll take a 1x3 flat piece, put it right here. And then this piece is actually very important. This 1x2 with 1 stud in the middle, you'll be placing it here. And that stud is your locking mechanism, believe it or not. So when the whole thing closes, the bottom part that has a small little stud piece, which I'll go ahead and show you right now. One of these things that you see in the middle, that is going to go into this hole. And it's going to be in a way where it stays in place, but when you want to open it, it's not that hard to take off. So, this is how your Morpher should be looking as of right now. So all you're missing is the piece that actually moves. So, let's get to work on that. What you're going to, apologies for the time skip there. Lesson learned and lesson to all of you. If you're ever doing a custom build, you need to document what you did. Even if you've made changes, document it. Video, pictures, written down, something. So that way, anytime you want to recreate your build or show someone how you build something like I'm trying to do now, you actually know where everything goes. Because despite my little setup here, the top, I actually forgot how I originally built it. So I had to look back a few times until I finally got it. So now, instead of ranting, we can go ahead and move forward with building the final piece, the top. First thing you're going to do is take a 2x3 double-sided wing, and you're going to specifically want the top piece that has only 2 studs to it pointing towards the back, excuse me, and the rest of this taken up by the 1x2 slanted up pieces and have them arranged as so. Now, the reason for this is so that way you don't have so much causing friction with the rest of the Legos. And on top of that, the 2 stud side specifically will interact with the strap with the least amount of resistance, so that way when you do finally twist it open, it'll comfortably stay in place, but it won't be so hard to move it. So the next thing you're going to do is take a 1x2 block that has a hole for an axle, put it at the very end, then take 2 1x4 flat pieces, and 1x2 flat piece, so that way you have a 2x5 slot here, and you're going to end up with a 2x2 high flat insert for the keys to go into. And how you do that is by taking a 1x6 piece. Sorry, that is not specifically Lego, but just work with me here. And then you're going to take a 1x4, put it in the middle here, and then 2 more 1x4s, and have them sticking out like this. Now, in order to close up the top, you're going to take your 6x6 flat piece and put it like this. So now you have that 2 too tall slot that I mentioned specifically earlier, so that way any of your keys can easily slide in, stay in place, slide out. Very little resistance, but enough friction in order to be secure. So now to secure the rest of all this, you're going to take a 2x2 sloping piece, and you're going to take 3 of them to start smoothing everything out. Now, next, let's go ahead and work on the screen. You're going to take a whole bunch of glass pieces. I specifically have it so that I'm using 4 of the clear 1x1s and 4 of the clear 2x1s. But you can honestly put whatever glass pieces you want here. The whole idea that you want specifically is to emulate some kind of a screen. So I will have it set up so that on the very top I have 1x1, 1x2, 1x1, the next one down, 2x1, 2x1, and then I repeat what I did on the top at the bottom. But again, this is a custom build, and when you try to build one of your own, you don't have to really follow this specific design. If you want to, you can do something different, as long as you have something that indicates that this is a glass screen of some kind. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take 2 1x6s and put them on the very end so that you have a 1 stud runoff on both sides. Then you'll take a 1x2 slanting down kind of piece. Again, apologies for not knowing the Lego terminology. And you're going to attach them to that 1 stud that is sticking out. And to secure them in place, you're going to take a 1x6 and place it right here. Sorry, just had to get rid of some cat hair. Now, this is going to be occupied by these 4 pieces, so that way your front will stay very smooth. And another reason behind this is that you'll notice that there is a little bit sticking out here. It's not 100% flat with this. That's on purpose because, like I mentioned before, this little piece that's sticking out from the bottom will lock onto this piece, and these will make it close smoothly across this line. So now the final touches, which is just cosmetic, taking a 1x4, putting it here, 2 1x2 grills, another 2 1x2 grills, but this time being silver. That way it gives a bit of a metallic feel there. Take another 1x4, 2 of them. And then finally, a 2x2 flat piece. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your top. So last thing to do is just connect it and close it. And voila, you have yourself a Power Ranger Supercharged Morpher. So when you pull out your pin, take your key, activate it. While you're wearing this, slide it in, twist it, and boom, it's open, and then you can twist it to lock it in place. Of course, take your pin, turn off the light, and safely put it back in the slot that I specifically said to put it in. Oh, and of course, we want to see how this feels when I'm wearing it. Let's open up the Velcro strap, slide it, and the best thing, in my opinion, to do to make sure that it's as snug as possible is to find a flat surface to lean up against specifically, which I kind of can't do here, so I'm going to have to go upside down. And then take the strap, put it as tight as you can, and there you go. Doesn't really move that much. It feels comfortable. And that, I hope you enjoyed my first ever LEGO instruction video. There were some hiccups here and there, but let me just say I appreciate all of you for the support. This has been an incredible year for me, and my channel would not have gotten as much recognition as it has if it wasn't for all of you. So that being said, may the power protect you, and hopefully you can build one of these yourself one day.